I bet you want to make passive income, so you've turned to YouTube automation. After all, it can be an incredibly lucrative business when done right. Once you have a team and an established channel, you can spend well under $100 for a video that can make you thousands of dollars without having to do any work at all. But this isn't the reality for most beginners. In fact, most people end up losing tons of money with this business for the first several months. Lucky for you, there is a business model that totally avoids all of these issues. There's only one downside, but it's not as bad as you may initially think. The solution to all of this is building your own YouTube channel before outsourcing, which seems hard, but let me explain how this isn't as hard or as complicated as it may seem. I started this YouTube channel with this method and got monetized in 3 weeks. While this isn't common, it's not too hard when you know what you're doing. The 3 videos that got me to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time took me less than 2 hours to make in total, and I was learning an entirely new editing software in the process. I believe that anyone can follow this outline and see success. Finding the right niche for this business makes it so much easier. If you pick a niche like video essays, you can be prepared for countless hours of researching, scripting, and editing. Outsourcing these tasks later on will be expensive if you want to have a fighting chance against the top YouTubers in this niche. Instead, you can pick a niche that has a much lower barrier to entry. The most important part about a niche is that you're already interested in it. If there's a video game that you play a lot, you could make a gaming tutorial channel. You will already have the knowledge pertaining to the topic and can see success without having to do an over-the-top personality or crazy editing style. If you're really struggling to think of a niche, you could always ask ChatGPT to help you out. The next part of the strategy is where we differ from traditional YouTube automation. Instead of going on Fiverr or Upwork, you are going to make the first videos by yourself. This can seem scary, but if you want to see any success, you need to know how to make a good video first. Watch other creators in your niche and see what they're doing that you can improve on. It can be useful to latch onto trends and take a slightly different angle than everyone else's. For example, my first video on this channel was about Ryan Trahan's Penny series. I had done research on videos that other people were making around it and found a topic that only one other creator had covered. I knew that I could easily increase the production quality and that it was an interesting topic. Once I had my topic, I made a low production video around it. People often get caught up in the equipment that they have, but as long as you have a phone with a good enough sounding microphone, you have enough to get started. Write a script for your video that is short and to the point. The last thing that you want to do on YouTube is become repetitive and boring. Record yourself saying this script with whatever the best mic you have access to is, and throw in some background footage from other YouTubers in your niche in a free editing software like DaVinci Resolve or iMovie. Just make sure that you're adding to it instead of stealing. You can also use free stock footage if you don't want to risk using footage from other people on YouTube. For your thumbnail, you can replicate others from within your niche. You don't have to be some Photoshop god to take somebody else's thumbnail idea and make something similar. If you're making a video about another YouTuber, you can take that YouTuber's thumbnail and put some text on top of it. If you're making a gaming tutorial, you can just take a picture of the tutorial's output and put an arrow pointing to it. If you're really struggling with this, you can always ask an AI tool like DALL-E 2 to create a concept. Once you upload the video, you're most likely going to have to wait a few days to see any results at all. YouTube is very slow in giving new channels impressions, often taking over a week. If you wait a few days and still see no results, you should check your analytics. Look at your impressions. If you're getting a fair amount of impressions but no views, you might need to change your title and thumbnail. You can also check your audience retention. If your viewers stop watching after 10 seconds, this may be a sign that your video was boring. If you really can't tell what's wrong with your video, you can always join my Discord server linked in the description below and ask me to take a look at it for you. I'm more than happy to get you started on the right track. Once you have uploaded a good amount of videos and find a format that seems to work, you can start to transition to a more automated approach. Outsource the part of the video that you find the hardest first. If you struggle with video editing, try and find a video editor on Upwork that can create videos in the style that others in your niche are making them. You'll have experience with editing, so you can look at their previous work, and if you find too many flaws in it, you'll be able to identify this a lot easier than if you were to outsource from the beginning and find a new editor. If you want to see how much money you can make with this approach, check out this video here where I go over how much money I made on my viral videos. See you there!